dear friends. Today is World Population Day. In this occasion, I would like to talk about how overpopulation affects our economy during the pandemic situation. According to the United Nations, the current world population is 7.9 billion as of 2021. In India, it is 1.3 billion. The first case of COVID-19 in India was reported on 30 January 2020. In our Kerala on 11th March 2020. WHO declared COVID-19 outbreak as a pandemic. It was affect the health and lives of immense number of people all over the world. At this time, in India, more than 3 crore people have been infected with above 4.5 lakh recorded death. Government of India and the state government took many measures to fight the pandemic. But overpopulated country faces numerous challenges in the implementation of health and awareness policies. COVID-19 has directly affected the life of almost every person in our country. Lockdown have resulted in shutting down of various sectors in our economy. Its impacts are multidimensional, creating health crisis, loss of livelihood, and thus deepening poverty. Business are coping with lost revenues. Trade and other services got disrupted. Shutdown in factories, restriction for travel and commerce. Rate of unemployment increased due to lockdown and social distancing. Hence, there is a loss in income. These are only a few short-term impacts, but the long-term losses our economy from the COVID-19 pandemic shock are likely to far exceed these short-term ones. Here I am concluding my words. Thank you and have a nice day.
Each human being has a legitimate claim on a sufficient and fair amount of Earth's resources. More people means an increased distribution for food, water, housing, energy, healthcare, transportation and more. And all that consummation all contributes to ecological degradation, increased conflicts and higher risk of large-scale disasters like pandemics. The coronavirus has swept the planet this year, and we have seen the massively destructive effect it can have on people's health, livelihood and everyday habits. We always turn to experts that facts and inform perspective on the role of population in the crisis of our physical world. Researchers have no doubt about a direct relationship between huge and increasing human numbers and our consumption with the increased likelihood of regional epidemics and global pandemics.
World Population Day is observed on 11th July every year. Population has a direct effect on economic growth of the country. Overpopulation causes insufficient resources, degradation of environment, unemployment, poverty, lack of housing, and finally, less learning in classroom.
Each human being has a legitimate claim on a sufficient and fair amount on the earth resource. Unfortunately, the average person on the earth consumes at a rate of 50% above the sustainable level. When we use the term overpopulation, we specially mean a situation in which the earth cannot regenerate the resources used by the world population each year. Experts say this has been the case every year since 1970.
The overpopulation is a global problem with the environmental, social and economic issue. It is likely that by the year 2050, the world population will double. The problem is not just running out of space, but the quality of life. The main concern is what can be done to solve the population problem. Our population is growing at an enormously fast rate, not because the people are having more children, but because fewer people are dying due to better health and a longer lifespan.
Overpopulation or overabundance occurs when a species population becomes excessive than people deemed it must be managed. It can result from an increase in birth, a decline in the mortality rate, an increase in immigration, or a depletion in resources.
The impact of coronavirus on our lives is simply unprecedented. It may not be an exaggeration to state that no one alive has seen anything close to it. It has directly impacted the life of almost every person and in the world, no matter what their age, sex, and country residence. Not even the World Wars had greater worldwide impact. And although the wars and Spanish flu did kill many more people, most were unaware of their extent and intensity. In India, more than 3 crores of people are infected and around 4 lakhs died of coronavirus.
Very dark. People do not have any job to do. People do not have.
They are spreading awareness about the exploding world population.
Commemoration. The main goal of this day it is that India will become the most populated country in the world.
The pandemic like corona has swept the planet this year.
World Population Day was established
In order to control the pandemic situation,
Planning gender equality, poverty, health and
Governing Council of the United Nations Development Program in 1989. It was
The COVID 19 pandemic has affected the health and lives of an immense number. At this time, 51.82 millions have been infected, with nearly 12,80,000 recorded deaths in 215 countries. The pandemic has had a severe impact on livelihoods as well as more broadly on the economy. The increase in poverty and malnutrition due to the lower productivity is likely to have a greater impact on the more youthful population in poor economies, restricting their future productivity. The COVID-19 pandemic created far-reaching economic consequences. The COVID-19 recession is an economic recession happening across the world economy. Global stock markets experienced their worst crash. International Labour Organization estimated that an equivalent of 400 million full-time jobs were lost across the world. The pandemic has forced to switch the plans globally. All fashion, sports and technology events have been cancelled or have changed to be online. Thank you.